Hi. After leading large global teams for over 20 years and coaching hundreds of professionals, I've learned one big truth. Promotions aren't just earned, they are engineered internally and externally, both with your inner being and the external world. It's not either or, it's this and that. The intention of this video is to walk you through the exact steps that it will take you to navigate one or many of the huge invisible blockers, which stops brilliant people like yourself from getting promoted. And I'll show you each of these steps so that you can break through these invisible blockers. These aren't vague mindset tips, they're grounded actions that Fortune 100 leaders use, and I've used, and my clients have used, and have been successful with their own careers. Let's get started. This week, one of the top, and I would say the top blockers is lack of visibility. Many clients of mine who walk up to me and say, I feel invisible. I don't feel seen. I'm literally burying myself in my meetings. I can't talk. I don't show up. And the reason they give is to say, I do some great work. I achieve outcomes. I do what it takes to run the work that I have to run to meet the outcomes that I have to meet, and my KPIs are met. What else should I be doing? I just can't go sell myself so hard because it just doesn't seem right. And that, my friend, is the beginning of what I call the lack of visibility or the invisible excellence syndrome. You're quite tracked that you are excellent, and that's fine. That's not a bad thing. That is a good thing. But you sort of feel that because you are excellent and because you have the skills, capabilities, and traits, it's okay not to make yourself visible and actually tell people what you have done. So, the invisible excellence syndrome is what I'm going to focus on for today and give you the exact repeatable steps to crack it. People sort of assume their work speaks for itself. Imagine I create a product in the bank and I just create this massive, path breaking, amazing product, but I don't come show it to you as the consumer. How on earth are you going to know that it works? How on earth are you going to know it will solve a problem? How on earth do we know what the value is? And that literally is invisible unless communicated, and that product is you here. In reality, performance is invisible unless communicated. Stay with me. Performance is invisible unless communicated. How do you get past this? Let's cut the chase. Firstly, step one. First, build a weekly leadership snapshot. And you could be bored hearing this, but then every Friday, choose a day, or every Thursday, send to your manager a three bullet update. And it could be whichever way. What did you deliver? How does what you do matter to the organization? What is the next support that you need? What do you need next to set yourself up to success? What you delivered. And let me walk you through an example. What you delivered. Obviously, you have a role to play currently in your corporate job. You have outcomes according to plans based on wherever you work. The work that you do will impact somebody internal to the organization, external to the organization. You could be working in technology, you could be in operations, you could be in business process, you could be in security, you could be in cloud delivery, you could be an architect. But then you will have a piece of work that eventually ties up to a larger outcome, and that will deliver a value to the organization. So talk about what you delivered. Yeah. And work on your communication. You have enough tools today to actually scribe this. You just need to be clear on what you delivered because that's going to show progress. What you delivered. Pardon me, just coming up with a bad cold, but then I wanted to hear show up, so I'm here. Why does what you do matter? What does that truly mean? A piece of work that you do will have a relevance. It's going to bring in either cost optimization, it's going to bring in efficiency, it's going to bring in a change of culture, it's going to be transformative, it's going to add to the top five, six, seven pillars of your organization. tie it back to the organizational KPIs. And that sort of defines the meaning behind what you delivered and why does it matter. Thirdly, what step you need next. Basically, you're letting your line manager or your boss or your leader let her or him know what is the exact support you need to set yourself up for the next week. Or if you faced impediments this week, what support do you need next? Nothing much, nothing flashy. A single page or slide on what have you delivered this week? Why does it matter? And what support do you need next? You know what this does? You could be this amazing executor, taking on deliveries, taking on issues, being a big problem solver. You have this great ability to navigate difficult situation, networking, whatever it takes. But then you will change your narrative from being a plain executor to a visionary leader because your thought process is, what have I done? Why on earth does it matter? How was the work that I am doing contributing to the final leg of what matters? Right? So it basically shows that you're breathing the DNA of the organization. And what support do you need next? Because then that talks about the fact that you care to be successful, you care to be contributing, you care to grow, you care to achieve the outcome. So these three steps in a leadership snapshot will take you far. Next big step, speak once in every meeting. Well, if you're clued out, you have a problem already. If you're sitting in a meeting that makes no meaning to you, either your role is irrelevant, you already clued out, so you have a bigger problem on hand. You need to figure out if you want to continue with that role. I mean, I wouldn't say you have a bigger problem. What I'm primarily saying is you should have the ability to at least speak once in every meeting. What does that mean? You go to a meeting which is attached to the work that you do, and you will have value to add and value to take, and that's why you're there. Otherwise, you will check out of that meeting, right? Why is this important? Contribution is equivalent to visibility. If you can't contribute in a meeting or you can't show up, you're not going to be visible. You're creating direct active invisibility. Be present, not to talk. Be present to listen. And I know you've heard it multiple times, and it's not that hard. If you catch yourself wanting to just talk, stop yourself and say, where's this coming from? But then ahead of that, speak once in every meeting that matters to you or adds value to your role. Speak once and speak sensible. Yeah. Even a short insight materially counts. It does count. And you need to do what it takes. Yeah. Third one, build a 15-second value statement. Right now, let's say you meet people in your organization, internal or external, your boss, your leadership team, or anybody, your peer, your people who work with you, work for you. When someone asks you what you're working on, what do you say? Hey, I am a developer. I am an engineer. Yeah, brilliant, right? Let's remember, position it in a way that people can absolutely relate to what is that you truly are and how does the work that you do contribute to what the organization is trying to achieve. For example, if let's say a client who works with me, she does some stellar work with respect to delivering amazing products for Google. So she'd say, I am leading this mobile practice in Google which is helping Google actually achieve a save of so much and drive efficiency to this extent with so many clients. Yeah, look at the impact she's created. She's actually said the team that she leads, what's the value of what she does to the organization, and what does it do for the organization. She's spoken about not just relevance, but she's spoken about how critical she is for the organization. Yeah, there's automatic sparks generated and interest created, that the person who asked this question becomes curious and says, oh, that sounds fabulous, how about we set up some time to discuss and just understand what we do. So when someone asks you what you're working on, say, I am leading, ta-da-da-da-da, which is the team, which is helping the team or the organization achieve ta-da-da-da-da, these outcomes. And this sort of ties in very directly to this pillar. in this bank. Now, if you're not used to talking like this, you have to change. You have to find ways, methods, and tools to not just change the way you communicate, but change the way you believe you're worthy of this communication. And all of these 3 points that I've made today, yeah, one is external communication, the other is the internal wiring. And that's what I actually um, help my clients with, internal reprogramming. Because you can create a slide with these points. You need to believe you're worthy of this. You're worthy of saying what I delivered today, why it matters to the bank, and what support do I need next. A slide every Friday, or a set of two liners every Friday. But if you didn't believe you're worthy of being that next level leader, you will not breathe that. So follow this as part of the leadership snapshot and believe that you're worthy of it. Speak once in every meeting, not because you just have to speak, but because you want to create that impact. Believe that you got the ammunition, skill set, attitude, capability, and acumen to actually contribute and create the visibility in the organization, because every insight counts. Recap of the third one, your own profound value statement. Some people call it the elevator pitch, whatever. But when someone asks, hey, what do you do? I say, I'm leading this team, which is one of the largest in this line of business and which is helping the team achieve this outcome. Yeah. So hopefully you can experiment with this and actually get past the invisible excellence syndrome. Many people reference this. I didn't coin it, but I know this is transformative. Start doing it, start embodying it, and let's get past the damn lack of visibility, which is stopping you from getting promoted. I am very curious to seek your feedback. And my intention is to keep giving you such exact steps so you can experiment with it and you can feed back to me and I can help you build it into your own career so you can actually become visible. Thank you.